So I'm with Tel Aviv University. I'm professor of electrical engineering, and I'm also with X-Trodes. So the technology was developed in my lab and was licensed in 2019. And so what you're going to see here is actually a combination of technology that has been perfected in the company and much of the research that is done in my research group. So since I'm guessing many of you may not be very familiar with electrophysiology or skin electrophysiology, I'll give you an example that highlights the challenges and also the opportunities. And what you see here was actually some pilot study that was done actually pretty close to here in Jena, a couple of hours down south. It's a hospital specializing, actually one of the European or world leaders in facial rehabilitation. And what you see on the right is the standardized approaches of recording electrophysiology, specifically muscle from the face. So the electrodes are literally metallic electrodes that are faced very carefully using conducting gels that have to be, the electrodes have to be placed in really precise locations to fit the locations of the muscles. We have quite a lot of them on the face. And this technology, as you can appreciate, this is the state of the art and pretty lame with a lot of electrodes and wires and very lengthy placing procedure, and pretty much a technology that can't really go much beyond the constraints of the clinic. And what you see on the left is the technology that we've developed. So it's a dry printed electrodes. It's not flexible electronics, it's really soft electronics, so and dry electronics. And you don't really need any wires, and that really prevents a lot of the mechanical artifacts that are associated with conventional gel electrodes. And the whole system can be applied within a couple of minutes, and in principle can be self-applied. And that really opens many opportunities, which I'll try to kind of provide you a glimpse into. So the electrodes can, of course, be designed and implemented in many different configurations that fit the specific application that you have in mind. So what I showed you before was a layout that is designed for capturing facial muscles and specific expressions that are typically used in rehabilitation. What you see on the bottom right is a design that is specific for sleep monitoring. And so it actually captures brain activity, eye movements, and muscles down at the chin. And on the left, this is an example for more higher density EEG and a generic EMG. So these are just the printed electrodes, so you can recognize the silver traces for low impedance, and the carbon, which is actually in contact with the skin. And the little white box is the one that actually has all the electronics, so the Bluetooth module, the amplifiers, and the rest of the stuff that you need. And what you don't see here is actually all the infrastructure, the cloud infrastructure that you have at the background, because these are massive files that basically go pretty automatically into the cloud. And then the fun begins, which is the signal analysis and the processing and a lot of AI that miraculously hasn't been mentioned in this conference yet. So I'll talk a little bit about that. So the nice thing is that so we started more than 10 years ago. Lots of papers, also the European and US patent for dry electronics. And what you see on the right is just some examples of the kind of really typical traces of the signals that you can capture. So the green one is EEG. That's a alpha-like activity of a relaxed person. This is a person just about to fall asleep.